doping techniques. Okay, so see already I have explained, right? Once you check the notes. So to increase the conductivity of a semiconductor, what we are doing, I am going to dope the metals like boron, aluminium, gallium, etc. are doped into the semiconductors of what? Silicon or germanium. This is called as doping. So you can do the doping by three different manners, that is diffusion, ion implantation and epitaxy. Okay, so coming to the diffusion, what I said, you are going to see wafer is nothing but your thin layer. Okay, whatever the we are having a crystalline structure, right? So the thin layer or a crystalline structure, you will simply call it as a wafer. Okay, the dopants means what? Our boron, aluminium, gallium. So whatever the elements you are going to dope, those you will call it as a dopants. So the dopants are introduced into semiconductor wafer by solid state diffusion. So what I said, we are going to apply the high temperature, that is 1000 degrees Celsius. Next, at high temperature what happens? The silicon atoms. Imagine the diagram what I have explained before. I have drawn this one, right? We have a silicon. So with this, when you apply the high temperature, what happens? Silicons will be moving out of the lattice sites. And next what happened? As a result, vacancies are created on a wafer and dopants will diffuse into the vacant sites. Okay, next, ion implantation. Next one. Next. See, in this process, what we are doing? We are doing at a low temperature. And what is the advantage of ion implantation? I said, we can introduce our dopant directly into the selected area. Next. So a beam of high energy boron or phosphorus atoms are bombarded on a selected area of a wafer. Next, dopants atoms directly. That means I want a third lattice site, means it will come and directly dope into the third lattice site. So into a crystal lattice of semiconductor by displacing some semiconductor atoms. Displacing semiconductor atoms means, if I am taking a silicon structure, means it will displace the silicon and the boron will be occupying the lattice site. Easy? Yes? Now epitaxy means what I said, we are going to arrange a layer on it. So epitaxy means what? Arranging upon. So whatever the layer you are taking first, the base, that you will call it as a substrate. Okay now? Next, the above whatever you are going to arrange to dope, that you will call it as a epitaxy. Okay, epitaxy. Now, we are, like in this technique, we deposit a crystalline overlayer. We deposit a crystalline overlayer on a semiconductor wafer. Semiconductor wafer means what here? Substrate. Substrate means whatever the original semiconductor layer we are taking. So what I am going to do, the lattice spacing of depositing layer and the substrate must be matched. So we have the types again, homo, hetero, pseudo-homo, pseudo-hetero. So if the substrate and film are same, we call it as a homo. If those are different, we call it as a hetero. And in the, if the substrate and film, again film is nothing but your epitaxy only. Okay, film is nothing but your epitaxy layer. Film is also a thin layer, right? So that is your epitaxy layer. So if the substrate and film are of same material but the chemicals are different, like the dopant chemicals are different in the pseudo-homo. Okay. Now in the last one, hetero, what you will be saying, there is only one common chemical between the substrate and film. Okay. Next, and how these are formed by the three methods, like wafer phase and molecular beam epitaxy and liquid phase epitaxy. Okay, in wafer what happens, the epitaxy layer is vaporized and those vapors are made to fall on the substrate, so that we are going to dope the elements. Next, in the second one, in vacuum, the evaporated epitaxy layer is made to grow slowly on the heated substrate. Next, the final one is the material is taken in a liquid state and it is made to precipitate directly on the substrate. Okay, if you write these points for the doping, it's enough. Clear? Yes? Yes, now off this one. Transistors, okay. PN junction diode and a junction transistors. So the first, wait, I'll take. So I am taking two types of semiconductor, that is P-type semiconductor and N-type semiconductor. Understood? So one end of this semiconductor, just imagine I have took a semiconductor. Just imagine I have took a semiconductor, and the one end of the semiconductor, I am getting sound from the girls. One end of this semiconductor I have doped with the indium. What? I have doped with the indium, that is group 3 element. Okay, next. And the another end of the semiconductor I have doped with the arsenic. I have doped with the arsenic, that is group 5 element. So when I dope this semiconductor with the group 3 element, that is indium, I will be calling it as a P-type semiconductor. Vijay. So when I dope the semiconductor with the group 3 element, that is indium, I will call it as a P-type semiconductor. And when I dope the another end of the semiconductor with the arsenic, that is group 5, I will call it as a N-type semiconductor. Understood how my semiconductor is there now? And I am having P-type and N-type. Understood? Yes, now the P-type semiconductor I am going to connect with the positive terminal. Okay? We have the terminals, right? The battery terminals. Yes or no? So, I am going to connect the P-type semiconductor to the positive terminal. Now, coming to the N-type semiconductor, I will be connecting to the negative terminal. So tell me, it is a which bias, like forward bias or negative, reverse bias? Forward, right? So when I have a connection in this manner, suppose imagine this is a case 1, okay? So when my P-type is connected to the positive terminal and N-type is connected to the negative terminal, what happens is, who will be in the N? Like in N-type semiconductor, who are the charge carriers? Electrons or holes? In N-type, who is the charge carriers? Electrons. So who are there here now? Electrons, right? Now, who are there in P-type semiconductor? Holes. Now, when you apply the electricity, or when you apply the electrons, or when you apply the when you supply the electricity to this semiconductor, what happens is the electrons from the N-type will move to the junction like this. Okay, not the electricity. When you connect the P-type and N-type to these terminals, just imagine if you are going to connect these semiconductors or the type of semiconductors to the positive and negative terminals in this manner. This manner means what? P-type should be connected to positive and N-type should be connected to negative. If you are connecting in this manner, what happens? In N-type, my charge carriers are electrons, and in P-type, charge carriers are holes. So when the connection is like this, the electrons from the N-type will move towards the junction. And one more thing, can you see a separating barrier between the P-type and N-type? Yes or no? The P-type semiconductor and the N-type semiconductor are separated by a barrier, right? So that barrier you will be calling as a P-N junction. Understood? It is the junction of P and N. Understood or not? So now the electrons from N type will move towards the junction, and the holes from the P type will move towards the junction. Okay, from here holes will be coming to the junction, and from here electrons will be coming towards the junction. Understood till here?